So here was a big education for me. Some of you may have seen on my socials last week, I spent 4 days in Marbella on a business retreat. What really resonated for me was there was people in the room doing 500,000. There was people in the room doing 20, 22 million in packaging. But the key thing to understand is the fundamentals of business are exactly the same. No matter what industry you are in, being in that room, and I've done loads of these things, the fundamentals of businesses that I've been taught since 2016 through till now realistically haven't changed. And this is the thing you want to write down. First thing is the market, and particularly your niche. You know, moving into the economic climate that we're moving in to right now, I think the way you're going to get cut through on social media is talking about one specific problem, one specific product, one specific client type. That's going to get you way more results. Now, for some of you, but Joe Bartlett, if you've not followed on Instagram, was probably one of the first mortgage brokers who actually made content interesting. Like I did content and it worked because I was an early adopter in 2016. Someone called me the granddad of mortgage social media the other day. I was like, can I be pioneer instead of granddad? That makes me sound really old. But now with TikTok, now with these other elements, you know, the fundamentals, if you can't do that style of content, which I'll be honest, I can't do content like Joe. I can't do content like other people. It doesn't suit my style and fashion. So what you have to realize is that certain people will like that type of content, but the way you do it and the way you deliver it, if you're talking to the right market, if you're talking about the right product, if you've got a specific niche, like self-employed, like buy-to-let, if any of you have listened to the podcast with Ying Tan, the reason why buy-to-let business became or the buy-to-let business became Dynamo is because he owned that buy-to-let niche and he didn't go into any other products until such time that he had exhausted that area. Become an expert at one thing, because when you're an expert in that market or that niche, you understand those specific problems for that specific client type much, much better. So it's market and niche. Second thing is problems. People buy more to move away from pain than they do towards pleasure. Now, there is a little caveat to this, because in my early days, I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll try and help people in 2016 with adverse credit mortgages. I'll talk about CCJs and I'll talk about defaults and I'll talk about how you can get a mortgage with them. And guess what happened? Rather than people seeing that as valuable content where they could go and fix it, they just kept coming to me going, Gary, I've got a CCJ. It's £3,000 and it's 2 years old. Can you get me a mortgage? I'm like, no, I don't want you to come to me. I was meant to be discounting you people. So you get what you pitch for. So make sure that the problems that you're talking about are ones that are absolutely key, because you will get what you pitch for. If you're consistent for the next 90 days and you pitch one product or one niche, I guarantee you will get way more results during that period of time, because you'll become known for it. That's immediately what happens. And then once you've got problems and once you've got a market and a niche, once you've then identified problems, all it is about is the third thing is making sales. That's the vital part, is just consistently making sales over and over again. And then as we start to move into the fourth part is systems. So identify your market and your niche, solve their problems, and I clearly identify their problems. I challenge each and every single one of you after this to write down 30 problems for your market and your niche. That'll give you a month's worth of content that you could bang out. Third thing is sales. That's all you need to focus on: making money, selling broker fees, getting mortgages over the line. Fourth thing is systems. Having some kind of method, rather than an Excel spreadsheet potentially, having a system for tracking client conversations, for sending emails, for delegating tasks. Because a lot of the fear that I found in myself early on from delegating and letting go was not being able to track what I was giving to somebody else. Once you know that you could just log in and look at where a client is or what the last conversation it was had, that gives you more security and safety that you can kind of start to let things go that little bit easier. And the last part is team. So market, problem, sales, system, team is number 5. Because this job, as you'll hear on the Ying Tan podcast, and it was kind of the reason why I'm referencing it is because Ying Tan, as most of you will know, was sold to Connells for last year for sort of millions and millions. At the peak of the business, it was doing 12 million. He had more than 200 staff, and everything that he talked about at our mastermind for the academy side last month is just all stuff that I've said before. So it's reassuring if you've known me for a while, or even if this is the first time you're hearing it, you're going to hear it from someone who is way further along on the journey than me, because remember, the fundamentals don't change. When you understand the fundamentals, you begin to get more business results. The problem, as I experienced for 10 years, and like me, I came out of a job. Luckily, my father was self-employed, so I had a bit of a head start over most, but I did what I'd always done. I kept an employee mindset. I thought working from 9 in the morning till 9 at night would make me successful. I kept working hard, but actually I'd spent years learning how to be a mortgage advisor, but hadn't spent any time learning how to be a business owner, how to be a marketer, how to delegate, how to be a manager. As soon as you flick that mindset switch in your head, employed life is very different to self-employed life. And when you understand that, it makes such a big difference to your business.